finally arrived in the snowy mountains. The last leg of our road trip down south. Mountains have put on typical mountain weather for us, and Nicko, we're here to try and tick the boxes of all the key species that you find in these cold water lakes and rivers.
That's right. There's 4 particular species, obviously the big browns and the rainbows. There's the brook trout and of course the Atlantic salmon. 2 species there I've never caught before. There's a couple there I wouldn't mind upgrading, Nige.
The PBs. Well, this is typical trout weather, so I reckon we get some lures out. We'll start with the troll, explore, see what we can find.
Let's get some lures on.
Because we haven't fished in Lake Jindabyne for quite a while, it's been at least 5-6 years since I've been here. We're going to explore, and to do that, trolling is a fantastic way to do that. There's lots of different types of trolling. We're going to do what we typically call flatline trolling. So there's no weight added. We're going to use little bibbed trout pattern minnow lures, 2 to 4 kilo outfits, 4 pound braid, 8 pound leader, mix behind the boat, 1 long, 1 short, 1 in the middle, and then start hitting points and bays, bit open water, just stagger it so we get a feel for what this place is going to offer, and hopefully catch a few bits and pieces on the way.
Yeah, fish on. Good fish.
Yeah. I want to keep that rod tip down a little bit.
I thought that when it started moving its head, I thought I probably should be fighting this a bit lower.
Oh, bravo, Nicko.
He took a little line then, Nige. I've got a bit of work to do at this point in time.
So I'm actually going to just keep drifting with the wind because I wouldn't mind you keeping tension on him.
No, that's fine. We're on.
He's going to come towards us.
It's going to take me time nice and steady.
Mm-hmm. You do that.
I can't do it. I can't move any faster with all this clothes on, how cold I am.
We look good, don't we? What's your biggest brown?
53 is my biggest brown, Nige. Caught him over in Western Australia, actually.
WA trout.
WA trout.
You got me there. I've never caught a trout in WA.
So hopefully, this is a nice looking fish.
He hasn't done much yet. Looks all right. Yeah,
it's just the way he's grabbed, I think.
Yeah, he's got his... You pin him, just slowly ease him into that net.
That will do me, sir. That will do me. I think already I possibly may have done me.
He's a long, skinny fish.
He is a long, skinny fich. He didn't fight like the way he's grabbed that lure. He's got a little number on him.
He actually tangled himself up, but long, skinny fish. We're at that stage of the year where they like, you get a really mixed spawning season. I think with the amount of rain we've had here, there's been probably a late run as well. And so you hear this term slabby, you get the fish that are coming back from spawning and they like pretty much out of condition. They're like long fish, they're thin, they don't have that condition yet. Yep. So you probably find that's probably almost a slabby style fish. It hasn't big head for its body at the moment. Yep. It's probably pretty weak. It's probably why I didn't really go nuts. And it's now back in the lake. It's eating yabbies. It's going to start building up that condition, and it found your little lure and went, there's a start. Just didn't think you'd be connected to the other side of it.
Yes. Oh, that's very good. And we'll have to get this one on the lie detector, I think. Thank you, sir. Tell you what, he's got to go close, Nige, I reckon. I reckon we're just under.
Just under. You got about a centimetre work to do yet.
It's close. It's a good start. But
right.
It's one off the list.
And something we're doing is working already. So that's a good sign. At the moment we're trolling a bit of a staggered approach, just trying to find a pattern for what the fish are going to eat on this type of day, this morning, this weather. And it's all about just experimenting with different options. We've got lures at different spaces behind the boat. They're all light outfits. We've got that 4 to 6 pound braid, 8 pound leader. We've got a couple of bib lures out. They dive at different depths. We're trying to see which one, varying amounts of noise. We've got lots of noise on that one. I think that might get the bite because this water's a little bit disturbed, and we've got a winged lure way out the back as well. Pretty much a fast walking speed, just so you can see that those rod tips are moving. And that's our approach for the moment, but we can change depending on whether we're getting bites or not. Once you start getting bites on a certain lure, a certain speed, or on a certain type of structure, and you just keep rotating and sticking to that pattern. Trolling is very much a game of strategy. You're trying to work out where you're going to get the bites, and so you zigzag a bit, you go in, you go out.
Now you might notice that we have 2 rods down low and 1 up high at the moment, and the reason behind that is we've only got 2 rod holders, but the reason we do like to keep our rods down low is it gets our lures down as deep as possible, and also it allows our lures to be away from the boat. It gives us a nice wide stagger. And occasionally, whether we're offshore or on the lake, a rookie mistake that I'm guilty of plenty of times is not checking my drag. So before you start trolling, always just make sure your drag's set nice and loose and ready to catch that fish.
We are fishing in fairly disturbed waters at the moment with all the running that this lake's received, and because of that, Nicko and I got to thinking maybe we need to put a bit more noise and flash out there now. There's a technique which has been around forever, which is attracting, using attractors like these or other types to bring species like trout towards a lure or bait. In this case, we've got a bunch of cowbells straight to our braided main line. Then we've got 60 centimetres, 8 pound leader. We've got a ladle soft plastic, and that is basically going to imitate a mud eye or basically those aquatic larvae which the trout love to eat. So hopefully we're going to bring the fish over to see what all this racket's about, and they find this and think that's worth eating. A couple of those out the back, and we might go and prove a theory that maybe we just have to attract them up and bring them to us. About 20 metres behind the boat, slow as you can go, keep that rod tip bobbing. Hopefully we get to show you a fish before long. Like that is absolutely a pack of fish. It's weird, you go over nothing and then there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that area from almost top to bottom. Oh, there, oh jeez. Oh, yeah, you got him. You got him. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Well, I can see me flash there.
I can think it might be one of those little rainbows.
I think it's
playing up a little bit
there
for
he
you.
is.
There he is. A nice little rainbow. He's going to go off for you.
Ooh,
there he goes. Yes. So there's one. Righto.
Ready? Here he comes, and well done. Well done, sir.
And you know what? You ticked another species off the list. It's not a rainbow.
It's a salmon.
It's an Atlantic salmon.
I'll tick one off my own list. Can you feel how my gloves are? That's
Yeah,
what I had a bit
cold.
I had a bit going on. I'm missing fingers here. This side's got nothing. This side's got 2.
It's all good.
There was a bit happening, all right.
Throwing rods in.
There was a bit happening.
Mate, I reckon you got one that's fresh out of the hatchery there. He's got all the signs of a brood stock.
Yep.
It may be a new release out of the hatchery. May have been there for a little while, but it's yeah, definitely showing the signs of what you might see coming out of the hatchery. And we had heard there's been a release lately of a whole bunch of different sizes. This may well be one of those. And you're fresh onto it, catching him as soon as he's got into the lake.
Pretty awesome to had 3 species in a day.
Atlantic salmon. That's very cool, and they get big here. You get some absolute trophy fish out of this place. So it's one of the lakes in Australia that support Atlantic salmon. It's kind of cool to come here and catch them.
It'll be even better if we can upgrade this one.
Yeah, we'll have a crack.
I'm pretty excited. Still the biggest one I've caught, Nige.
It can sometimes be a bit of a challenge identifying Atlantic salmon from some of your really cleaner brown trout. And someone once told me a really cool way to identify them, and it's to do with their tail structure. They've got a real upkick in their tail. Like you can actually tail this fish and hold on to them, whereas a lot of your other trouts, your brown trout and your rainbows will tend to slip out through your hands. But these, you can actually really get that notch in there. It's a good way to identify them as an Atlantic salmon versus a brown trout. It's a very cool looking little fish.
Oh, fish. This might be a brown, this one.
This is definitely a different one.
This might be a brown. Oh, could it be a brookie? It's too early to call. He's definitely a darker looking fish.
It's a very dark looking fish. Are you a little bit nervous now?
I'm very nervous, Nige.
I'm going to keep the gear in.
You know what else is really great?
What's that?
I'll stole your rod again.
You got winding left-handed.
I'm getting good at it.
That wasn't out long.
I don't even think I barely flicked that bail arm back over then.
Keep the rod tip down and scoop him straight into that net. Got him.
There's a rainbow, is it?
It's a rainbow, very dark rainbow,
Very
because
dark,
it's probably just come out of the hatchery.
Very pretty fish, but isn't it?
And you know what? These tags, it's a very fresh tag, which excites me a little bit as well.
Yes, we've heard something about this, haven't we?
We did. We came into town and everyone said, try and catch a tag fish. They've just let a heap go. Some of the tags are actually worth some money.
Number 114 on the Snowy Trout Challenge.
Ooh,
Oh.
It's a little bit exciting.
Well, it's got a website on there, so I'm not sure if we're going to register through the website now or something.
We're going to have to find out now, aren't we?
We're definitely going to have to find out.
Pretty fish. Look at the colours on it. They're just like,
It looks so dark out wide.
as soon as it jumped, you went, oh, it's dark fish.
Yeah, but still a lovely little rainbow.
But I'm keen to see what the tag's worth.
So more.
Might be a little bit of beer money for you.
A little bit of...
Some little money for me. We have been trolling, but we've pulled up for a bit of a cast and retrieve session just because it looked like a very likely spot. There's a few fish on the sounder. This is a classic yabby bed. To do that, we're trying to imitate bait sources close to the bottom. I'm using a little soft vibe. Nico's got the blade in action. And it's a case of pretty much letting it get to bottom. So we've got very sensitive outfits, braided lines. We're sitting in 3 to 4 metres of water, and we cast it out and you almost let that weight relax to let you know the lure's on the bottom. And then I'm working mine a little bit more quickly, little sharp jumps off the bottom, like a yabby or a wounded bait fish. And then Nico's using the blade with a slightly different retrieve.
Yeah, just that very, very erratic wobble of your tip, tap the butt. Now we've used this technique for other native species and I can't see why it would work for the trout either.
You would think so, but anyway, this looks like the spot. Cover some ground, see what we can find.
Let's try and catch one.
Oh, that was a bump. There. Oh no, it's rolled me. Come on, eat it. It's after it. Come on. 2 bites. Missed.
A bite lets us know we might be doing something right. Now it's a case of persist and see if we can convert the next one and hopefully turn up a better fish.
Oh, got him.
Yep, nice. Good work.
Very pretty little fish, Nige. Oh, there he goes.
Doing this thing for you?
Yeah. And again, yes.
Ready for that. Good colours. Beautiful colours. Oh, well done.
Work, Nige.
Really fantastic colours on it. Mate, well shaken. I'll say shaken because that's a classic yabby imitation that you threw.
That's, well, you're the one that pointed out these yabby beds here, and you said these fish this time of year are trying to condition to yabby, so I thought probably not a silly idea to put a yabby imitation on.
It was a great idea, you say, and that's obviously the beauty when you are trolling is that you're always looking, and so the sound is telling you a bit, but you also what the banks are doing, and there's quite a few birds been working here as well. And so these fish, obviously October, it's a time where they do want to build up, and yabbies are one of the best sources of protein here. And the beauty of brown trout, they feed pelagically, they also feed on the bottom, and a little shaking blade like that is just the prime yabby imitation. It works as well on the golden perch as it does on these. So mate, it's been a little bit of a tough bite. We're still trying to work things out, but that means we might be heading in the right direction.
Jindabyne has proven to be a tough read. Every time we find a fish or two, the activity seems to die very quickly afterwards.
Can't buy a bite.
We now alternate between casting and trolling, still trying to find some pattern to this place.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yes. Get him, Nige? That'll do.
Yeah, I got him.
Well done.
I got him. Tell you what, we drove through a stack of fish. We've certainly struggled a little bit in terms of still working out patterns. These fish are really hit and miss. Really small bite windows, which makes it a little bit hard, Nicko, to work out exactly what we should be doing and when.
As hard as we work, we can now only dredge up the odd smaller fish, and our thoughts move to a possible change in scenery and the idea of hitting another of the several high country lakes in this area to see if maybe there's better fishing on offer somewhere else.
Well, after a couple of days fishing Lake Jindabyne, I think we've had a few successes, but a few failings as well, Nicko. We've got the trifecta, the brown, the rainbow, Atlantic. We've got a tag fish. We haven't as yet beaten your PBs, and it may be time to change some scenery.
Yeah, well, you tell me there's another little sneaky lake just up the road, so I think we'd be mad not to go and tow the boat up there and drop in there and see whether or not we can try and capitalise on one of these bigger trout this area is renowned for.
Get some bigger ones. I think the question to be answered is it a bit shut down because of the water in here? So this is obviously the lowest of the hydro scheme lakes. Lake Yukon's the next one up. So I reckon we answer a question, is it this place or is it all over the place?
Let's go and have a look, eh?
One way to find out. Good night's sleep. This goes up the road.
Sounds good.